In today's video, we're going to take a look at the coins which are on the screen right here. These are purchases that I made from the 2024 Knoxville, Tennessee Big Coin Show. There are some dealers that I've seen at other shows in Tennessee, but a couple of dealers that I had only found here for the first time. We're going to start with a Canadian silver dollar proof. That still comes in its original box. And so most of the coins, at least at the first part of this video, are going to be made out of silver. This one is a 50% silver. A lot of the proof dollars come in, you could get them in dollars like this, especially the ones from the 80s. So we're going to pull the slipcase off of here. Originally, it would have only been all gray with only this writing in the middle, but this seller added the 81 proof, the mintage total, and I even noticed that that's the total number of this coin made. So there were 353,000 of these made as proofs in the proof condition. So that means there's another, let's say 170,000 or so that were made in a not proof condition, but still made out of silver. So we pull the slipcase off, and it comes in this nice red box. But as you can tell, this is a little over 40 years old, but I like this one. I've seen this one several times, but never actually picked it up. Featuring a steam train. So from 1981, this was the 100th anniversary of the Trans-Canadian Railway. So as someone from the United States, I assume that it would be the first railroad to connect the Atlantic to the Pacific. I know I've picked up a coin in the United States U.S. quarter program. There is a coin that celebrates in the 50 state. The Utah coin celebrates the Golden Spike, which is where the U.S. On the west coast or the Pacific met the trains from the east, and they're in the middle of the mountains of Utah. So neat look here. Like I said, 50% silver. Here is our portrait of Queen Elizabeth. So if you do the math, this is going to be about 0.3750 ounces of silver, a little over a third. That means it was, in the day I bought this, $8.50 spot price, and I paid $11. But also got this nice box, and not sure how nice the slipcase is, but it keeps everything from falling apart. Same dealer, I got a second coin here for $3. This is going to be from Gibraltar. This is from a series of Man's Best Friend. I think there were a total of 7 different dogs that were put in this set, and in particular, he only had a couple of them, but I bought this one because this one is the Pekingese. And so my mother-in-law, who also collects coins and likes British things, has a Pekingese. So take a look at that. So when we look at this coin, there is the Pekingese dog breed. A lot of the Gibraltar coins, at least their crown size coins, will have this castle and key to kind of demonstrate that it is from Gibraltar. The denomination on this coin is 1 royal. So for the longest time, they were called 1 crown, which was essentially equal to 25 pence. And I'm not sure why they started calling them royals. I read notes that these were circulating bullion coins, which could also be redeemed for face value. So they called it 1 royal. I haven't seen anything to say whether or not 1 royal equaled 1 crown or not. However, I will say there is an all silver version of this coin that is different than this one. If you had the silver version, while we're at it, let's look at the portrait of the Queen right here. We've got a mint mark of the Pobjoy Mint right here. And then the initials of the engraver are there on the end of the portrait. But if you had this in the silver version, it would actually say 1 ounce here around the one royal. One other thing that this coin had that the others did not was this year of 1994 was also the Chinese year of the dog, and so that is notated right here. So if you find any of the others, I think some of the other breeds include the Corgi, the Collie, the Dachshund, the German Shepherd. If you have any of those, it's not going to have the year of the dog note on here. So I did pay $3 for this. It did have a book price of $6. If you want to read this, whoever gave this or sold this to me had cut this off of some piece of cardboard somewhere. We got the map showing where Gibraltar is on the end of Spain. So if you want to read this, pause, and now's your chance. So those two coins cost me a total of $14. I paid the $20 bill. He gave me back 3 $2 bills and change. That's the kind of thing you see at a coin show where they just happen to have a whole stack of crisp $2 bills to hand out and change. That'd be great for the kids. As an adult, I sit around and think, I have to spend all these for the show or I'm going to get to some store that's not going to know how to do anything with it. But have no fear, I did figure out how to spend them. So I had 3 of them, and each dealer that I sent it to was like, wow, you have a $2 bill. And I'm like, yeah, there's someone else who's giving them out here at the show, and I don't want to leave with it. So next we're going to move on to this particular bullion piece. This is a 1 ounce silver Libertad from Mexico. Let me go ahead and open this one out of the flip. He had $35 written on it, but it was actually in a box that said everything was $25. So when I saw this, thought to myself, I don't need this coin. I already have one of these. I like to get different coins. I don't know why I'm purchasing it. But $25 is a good price compared to a lot of the foreign coins. The difference between spot price and the markup that you get for them is more for these Mexican Libertads than most other bullion rounds. And so to get it at $25, I thought that was a pretty good price. As it turns out, I didn't have it because they did make some subtle changes over the year. This is the coin from 1990. I had the one from 1986, which was not reeded. But when you look in your catalog, there's a couple of other subtle differences on it. One of them is with the cactus back here. If you look at the portion of the cactus that the eagle is standing on, there are 7 dots on that segment of the cactus. The older version of the coin, there's going to be 8 segments. And that's a really nice action pose of the eagle getting the snake right here. So I like the look of that. One other thing I'll point out is that in a slightly newer version of this coin, where it says 1 ounce here, looks a little bit different. Onza must be ounce in Spanish. The N and the A appear a little bit smaller on it, so it almost makes the O and the Z look uppercase on here. But in this version of it, the ONZA is all the same height on here. I think going along with that, the plata pura means that the font or the typeface of that has changed a little bit as well. So this is a 1 ounce, $9.99. Spot price was $22.60 when I looked it up, and I paid $25 for it. I could probably turn around and sell that for $30 if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I bought this because I wanted it for my personal collection. Next, we're going to move to another dealer that most of these dealers don't focus in foreign coins, but this dealer had a couple of foreigns. To get this, these 2 coins came from Fort O Coins. This is a dealer out of Chattanooga. That Fort O stands for Fort Oglethorpe. Maybe he's in North Georgia, but either way, it's in the Chattanooga area. So this is the the way the Mexican 1 peso coin looked for about 3 years. This was when they no longer made the full size, about the size of a US dollar, like a Morgan dollar size that was 90% silver. They no longer needed that much silver in it. But it was before they turned to the Morales 10% peso, which was just as big. So this is a 50% silver, and it actually has it written on here. 50% silver, so you've got a weight, 0.2251, almost a quarter of an ounce. What this dealer will oftentimes do is, instead of putting just a price on it, he'll calculate the melt price and add $1 to it. So let's take a look here. This is from 1947, KM 456. The spot price on this was $5.10. So let's say that I paid about $6 for this one. Flip it over. We've got another eagle and cactus here. So I do find it amazing on these Mexican coins how they're almost always going to have the eagle, cactus, and a snake, but it always subtly looks different. The snake doesn't look the same. The where he's standing on the cactus, where the eagle's talon is on the cactus, there's no dots on the coin for this particular one. The other coin I got from Fort O Coins is this one from New Guinea, not Papua New Guinea, but this was when they were still controlled by the British in 1938. This is the largest denomination coin made during the New Guinea days, was the 1 shilling coin. So they had a 1 pence or 1 penny made out of copper, and then they had some 3 pence, 6 pence made out of copper nickel. And then the largest coin here was the shilling, made out of silver. And so this comes from a culture where they liked having holes in their coins, which is why you see it on here. This is at the beginning of the reign of George VI. It is KM8. So this one is sterling 925, a weight of 0.16 ounces. And so it was actually labeled as the territory of New Guinea. So the spot price on this one was $3.62. And that day, add $2 to that, that makes it about $5. I ended up paying $11 for this one and the previous coin. And so the book value on both of these, the last Mexican coin and this one, was $8. Oddly enough, if you look up the book value of all of these territory of New Guinea coins, the silver ones definitely are backed by the silver that's in it, but the copper and the copper nickel coins actually have a higher book value. Now, which one would you rather have? Would you rather have the one made out of silver or the one that books for more? That's something for you to decide, but I thought that was interesting. The next 3 coins came from a dealer who appeared to be run a local pawn shop. And so he had a lot of things that you wouldn't normally see at a coin show, like knives. And then some of the coins that he had was foreign junk silver. A couple of these are in pretty rough shape, and I even found some that weren't actual silver. But I found, so I looked them up first just to verify whether or not they actually were silver. And I put a couple back because I thought, even though it wouldn't have cost very much, they weren't silver at all, so I didn't want to buy it from them. They were tiny coins. But this one here in particular, I really like this one. So it's a Bahamas 1976 $1 coin. Here you can see the Franklin mint mark. And this one's not silver, but I paid for it like it was silver. So if it was silver, this would have been $10.56 worth of silver. So he noted that he was going to sell this one for $12 since it was a proof coin. If you have a Krause catalog, you'll see for a lot of these Franklin Mint sets of the 70s, there will be 3 versions of every coin. And so it'll say the year FM, and then in parentheses it'll have an M, a U, or a P. P would be proof. So proof is where you have the mirror-like background. So the smooth area would be mirror-like. The details would be frosted in appearance. And so those are called the best looking coins that they make. And so this coin this year is only silver if you get it in the proof version. So if the catalog says U for uncirculated, they mention that as the special uncirculated. So that looks like something that if you were to find in pocket change that just came off the presses, didn't have anything done to it yet. So it's almost mirror-like on all surfaces because it hasn't touched anything yet. And then they have the matte version where the entire surface of the coin has a frosted look, and that's what we have right here. And so apparently the Franklin Mint didn't keep very good records, but they did make sets like this for 20 or 30 different countries, I believe. And so the Bahamas was one of them. They made proof sets, they made uncirculated sets, they made matte sets. So although this one isn't silver, this is kind of a dilemma, like I was saying with the New Guinea coins of would you rather have the silver one or the one that's not silver? Well, I wish that I had $11 of silver in this coin. However, the book price on this one is better because there are only 600 of these matte coins that they produced. Only 600 of these. So this has a book price of $25. This one is KM65, by the way. So that's why I went ahead and put this one in a flip. The other two coins that I got from this guy are silver, and I pretty much got right at spot price. So these other two cost me a total of $11. Here is a Greece 20 drachma. This features, let's see, the moon goddess Selene. Then you have King Paul of Greece from 1960. This one's 0.835 silver, so it comes to 0.2013 ounces, so right at a fifth of an ounce. They had, even though it's dated 1960, half of them were minted in 61, but they still kept the date of 60 on it. It also has some edge lettering on it. This particular version is so well worn you can't really see it, but it essentially says the same thing it has here, which is from here all the way to there has the date and all these words. Pretty much everything, but I guess that's Paulos is written on the edge if you could read it. So this one is KM85. This next one is really rough shape. You can see that it's damaged, it's warped, and it must have been mounted in jewelry and they had a hard time getting it out because just the edge of it is all messed up, which means, but you know, I'm not going to pay anything more than spot for this one. But for spot price, I think this one's pretty nice for what it is. So on this side, we have the lion holding a sword in front of a radiant sun. Anytime you see that design, it means it's from Iran. But this is the side that I'd never seen before. When my wife saw this coin, she thought that guy is wearing a marching band hat because when she was in high school, she was part of the marching band and she had a hat that looked like this. At least if it was not well worn, maybe it wouldn't look like that at all. But this features Reza Shah, the Shah of the time. There's a date right here of 1304. The numbers of these Persian coins sometimes can be different than the way a 4 would be written in most other Arabic countries. And so it's the 130 are the same, but that 4, it's almost like a line, and then it's got almost like a little letter C coming out of the side of it. That is not the year the coin this was made. It was the year that Reza Shah ascended. So a lot of these Arabic countries like to have the ascension date on the coins. The actual date is shown right here. It's going to be 1306. And again, their 6 is not like other Arabic countries. It almost looks like a sideways Y, a tilted Y. So that's 1306. So also during this time, they were not using the normal Arabic calendar. They were using, the catalog calls it the SH date. And so I don't know exactly what that means, but the actual date here is 1306, which translates to, on our calendar, 1927. The denomination of the coin is written in the text up here. This is 2,000 dinars. It's going to be KM 1,104. It's 90% silver, so it comes to 0.2665 ounces. This one also has an L mint mark on the other side. Here in the ribbon, you only see that on some of the some of the 1306 coins. That is Leningrad, so this one was actually minted in Russia. So yeah, those last two coins I definitely got at the silver spot price for $11. So I spent $23 with that one dealer to get those last three coins. So the last coins here that are in this bag were from one other dealer. A dealer I see actually a couple of times a year at other shows. And these, I sometimes will buy silver from him, but these are actually not silver, any of these coins. But he has some pretty good, he knows what he has with foreign coins. And so we've got these ranked by price. We're going to start with a coin from Isle of Man, 1984. This one is a half penny. One of the last years, I think 85 was the last year they made the half penny in Isle of Man, but it features a fuchsia blossom. So this is a one-year coin in 1985. They changed the portrait of the Queen. It has an A mint mark on it. Not sure where that's from. But before 1984, they had a different design on their half penny. My book adds a note to this coin that it is also the quincentenary of the College of Arms, but I don't see anything on this coin that actually designates that. Next coin is going to be from Singapore, going to be a modern coin. This one dates 2018. The back here probably looks familiar to you, has Singapore written in 4 different languages. We flip this one over. This is a set that started, I think, in 2014. So the 50 cents coin, KM 348. And this one features the port of Singapore. So we have a boat coming on right here, some power lines, which I guess control the locks on here. Then we also have a lion head motif. This coin also features a, don't know how well this shows up, a barely reeded edge to it, which is, I guess, technically called a micro-scalloped reading. And I couldn't find a mint mark on here anywhere, but this coin was made at the Royal Canadian Mint in Winnipeg. Our next coin is going to be from Sierra Leone, featuring here the ruler Nyambana. The coin is 100 leones. Made of nickel steel. This is a KM46. This coin features cocoa pods. On modern coins from Peru, they do have the normal circulating coins, but they also have a lot of commemorative circulating coins, which are, I think this is going to be my 3rd or 4th one of these. This nickel brass coin features the Cathedral of Lima, which has a date of 1541 on it. So this is when they're still writing New or Nuevo Sol on their coins. then has the stylized Lima mint mark there to the right. KM384. This next coin is from a country that I'll almost never find, Mongolia. This is going to be my third coin from Mongolia. It's going to be a 2 Mongo coin. KM22. This was a 1-year coin made out of aluminum from 1959. Had a coworker who was born in Mongolia, so always thought it was interesting that he probably didn't know that I would have anything from Mongolia, but he was born after 1959, so not sure if he would have ever seen that coin. Then we have a bimetallic coin from Jordan. This one's going to have a date of 2000 right here, and then the Arabic date of 1421. This is a half dinar. KM79. Next coin is going to be from an Indian princely state. And so I'd never actually taken the time to look up what an Indian princely state was until I decided to with this coin. It has to do with when the British were ruling India. They decided that they didn't want to go to the trouble of ruling every square inch of India, so they had appointed local leaders or the princes to rule certain areas. They were still supposed to have allegiance to Britain, and it gets a lot more complicated after that. And so one of those regions was Tonk. And so this is going to be this is the 6th different, or this is my first coin from Tonk, and the 6th different princely state that I have coins from. I believe there were, at the greatest time, there were about 300 different princely states, maybe 350. Not all of them made coins, but there were only 2 coins that they made that actually were milled. The others were using a cruder, old-fashioned hammering style, so don't look as nice as this. But this one has an Arabic date here of 1350. Then on this side has a date of 1932. KM29A, this is it's listed in the catalog as a paisa and a paisa. And so, as I said, there are only 2 coins they made that were milled. Both of them are 1 paisa coins. The other one looks pretty much just like this one, except it's larger, and that one is KM29 in the catalog. And this one is a reduced size version. All of the details are exactly the same, just smaller, but the smaller version was really made in 1934, and added this note on the back. It was actually minted in 1934 with a reduced size, so it's interesting that they didn't bother to change the date or any of the other details, they just made it smaller. So my first coin from Tonk. We're going to finish today with a coin from Taiwan. Has a catalog value here of $7.50, but I paid $3.50 for it. We've got a date of 2002 on here, although once you learn how to read the date on a Taiwanese coin, all the text on the top here essentially says the year of the Republic of China, 91. So year 91, there's a 9 plus for 10 and then a 1. So 91, year of China 91. Year of Republic of China. So this one has a latent image. So if you look at all the lines that are running through the middle of this, when you hold it one way, you're going to see one image. When you hold it like this, you just really only see the lines. And then when you hold it another way, you see a different image. So tilt it like this, you see a 50. Tilt it like that. I had to go really far for this one. The character on the top is a 5. The character at the bottom that looks like a plus is a 10. So that's how you write 50. You write 5 plus for 50 on here. So that is the security feature called Latent Image. And there's only 3 or 4 countries that I've seen use this technology. Canada does it on some of their modern one and loonies and toonies. Russia has done it on some of their coins, and I can't think of other countries that have done it since. But this is 2002. It is catalog number Y568. And the foreign exchange value of this coin by itself is $1.60 in US dollars. So finding it for $3.50, I think, is a pretty good deal here. All right, hope you enjoyed this the video of these coins that I picked up from Knoxville. All right, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.